in between rounds you can substitute cards.
Okay. Is there any limit to that? Like, can you substitute back in one that you substituted out before?
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
You can make any valid
amount of
combo
time between rounds.
Let's see.
Be interesting.
No other possible.
Jesus Christ. Times 4 de-escalation. Times 5 de-escalation. That's too much de-escalating.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I actually don't think I just have
It's got a key change, probably the worst one in the set.
trading base.
Yeah.
Card's gas.
Well, when your Skyborn is non.
Triple Vapor Imp. That might.
I actually literally just have to
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that has to go in.
Auto pick.
Yep.
3 Vapor Imps, 1 with a Mars Pip, try hard with a Mars Pip, arise. We have to play this pod.
Do I just play this as an Archon deck? No, there's gotta be something better.
That's I played an Archon.
Oh yeah.
It's like 76. But it has that's a time traveler too. Logos. It's like just like sit in the logos and be like, oh, I'm gonna time traveler like every single turn.
Yeah.
There's like a worm tunnel with a cap. No, there's like a couple worm tunnels, but there's capture picks and logos.
Try this.
A lot of my other pods looked pretty mediocre, so this is what I settled on. The Dis is the main threat in the deck with 3 Vapor Imps, try hard, and an Arise to get them all back, along with some beautifully placed Mars Pips. The Mars has some powerful synergies with our pipped Dis creatures and cards like Intentional Discharge and Eldest Batchminder. The Geistoid is looking to utilize capture synergy with cards like Thoughtcatcher, Varad, Hella Chopper, and Ethereal Adapter. It's a bit of a filler house, but it gives our deck some much needed Amber control and board presence. For those of you who don't know, Vault Tour tournaments happen in 2 stages. First, players must play through the qualifier round, which uses what's called a 2LO tournament structure. 2LO is similar to Swiss, where opponents are matched based on wins, except you only have 2 lives, so after 2 losses you're eliminated. This continues until the pool of remaining players is reduced to a top cut of only 8. The second stage of the tournament is single elimination, with the final round being best of 3. For 21 players, we'll have to survive 3 rounds and potentially a play-in to make it to the top cut. Alright, with that out of the way, let's hop into the first game.
Good luck,
Alright,
sir.
good luck. I like your sleeves.
Thank you. Evens or odds?
I'll say even.
You are first.
Alright.
Game 1 was against Sydney. I kept my initial hand, hoping to take control of the board early with big Geistoid creatures.
I'm also going to keep. And I will start with number 612. Discarding. Double Doom, I guess. And I'll pass to you, drawing 1.
All right. I'm gonna go Dis. We will play the, what order? I guess order doesn't matter. Chauncey, capturing nothing. Vapor Imp and the Ven Omok will do 1 damage here.
Nice.
I really wanted to go Geistoid right away to dump my hand on the board, but Sydney did a nice job of making us spend a turn dealing with those annoying creatures.
I will go Mars. Fight into the Vapor Imp.
All right.
Then I'm going to play that to just turn this to my hand. Get rid of the damage.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll pass to you.
Yep, and draw one less. Up to one.
That dies from the splash, right?
Oh, splash.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and then 2 on
Two
there.
Thank you. Oop.
And exhausting.
All right. Well. Logos. Do you have any amber?
Nope, no
Okay.
amber.
Then I will just discard the information exchange, and I will play the candle unit, and then I think I'm deciding who to put the token on. I think. Yeah, I'll just put it on number 612.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna put it on candle unit to keep out the effect longer, but then you can just fight into the deanimator.
I'm gonna use this as a token.
I love that so much. That's amazing. 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, let's see. I think we'll start with a dis and a dat. Damage pip on the Chauncey.
Oh, nice.
And then change house to Geistoid. You have no amber as well?
0 amber.
Farad. Helichopper.
Information exchange.
Tribute collector. And we'll do Colonel Slime over here. And pass to you, drawing 5.
All right.
Turn, check it 4. Okay.
We're just gonna have to play some creatures. We will raise you your 4 creatures, and how do I want to do this? Safe port, no yellow. No yellow actually. Yellow or I think I want yellow. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll do it this way. That, and then that. Okay, so that, and then that, and then that. So +2 and taunt. So, okay. Cool. And then silver linings. Gain 1 for each house represented amongst friendly flank creatures. So just 2.
Okay.
But plus the pip. Yeah. Okay. And that.
Scrapped honor box.
It. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. Gotta go back into Geistoid.
Do you though?
Colonel Slime will fight into the Chandler.
Okay, so that will kill this, undoing the whole thing.
Taken 3. And then Varad captures 1 since it's
Nice.
Geistoid creature fought. Tribute collector will fight the Navigator.
All right.
Taking 1.
Capturing?
Yep, capture. Oh yeah,
And
capture 1 on
also-
each.
Okay, yeah. A friendly creature, so you can put
Oh,
that wherever
okay.
you want.
That-
He captures 1.
Yep, I'll put that one on the Helichopper.
Okay.
And then fight third of Cliff to pop the elusive,
Okay.
capturing onto Varad,
All right.
and then fight to kill it,
Dead.
taking 2. Now I'll play some cards. Let's do Stratowise over here,
Nice.
and then play Banshee Suit on the Varad.
Archive this creature and the top 2 cards of cool.
Then I will pass, drawing 2.
All right. So what is his thing? After another, oh yeah. Varad the +1 power. So he is at 7 power.
Yep.
Okay.
First time that card's been good for me.
Then I'm gonna go Logos. And okay. So first, I'm just going to information exchange. You did not steal from me, so I only steal one. And then I am going to play. What flank? Oh, I can do it that way. Okay. Okay. That's gonna go there with a discard pip, and I'm gonna get rid of another nook. And then I'm going to play. No. Okay. Code Monkey. So the draw first. Then the discard is going to be Impy over here. And then this goes to my archives. I don't get any amber, but then I don't lose these guys. And then this thing is gonna reap, and we will. Let's put him into an artifact, and you can use my. And then Candy is gonna fight Stratowise, taking 2.
Pretty good.
All right, and that's all I got. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's an argument to be made for going back into Geistoid here, but this actually gives us a nicer way of dealing with the candle unit.
2 amber.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try out this.
Ooh.
And I think the first thing is Ecstasy Siphon,
nice.
Capture Pip on Varad. We will deal
6.
Portal Guardian.
3 here,
Okay.
2 here,
2 damage, dealing 1. Okay.
yeah, and then 1 there. So 2 left to kill that, right?
Correct.
Then we'll fight.
Wait, first is first. Those things.
Oh yes, I almost forgot.
Gracias.
Somewhere.
This, I guess we'll just do 1 on each side.
Cool.
Then this will fight into the candle unit.
Cool.
Oh, I forgot I get to use this guy too. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Vapor Imp.
Nice.
And you got first one, then press to the right.
Dust Imp.
Nice.
Right here. Mosquito, Capture Pip on the Helichopper.
Bloop.
And then I will just reap here
Yeah.
and pass to you.
Alright. We are also going to go dis. And I'm going to look at my discard pile. Okay, so, okay, we're gonna do this first. So, 2 here, 1 here, and you have 3 left. We'll kill the mosquito.
Okay.
All done with that, right?
And then I will infinity strop.
Yeah, so you destroyed.
So I am doing 2 here, killing it, doing 4, 4, and 4.
So,
And then the top 2 of those are archived.
and Varad. Okay, so this all gets archived.
Yes.
You get all this amber. These guys go to discard. Would you like to order them?
Apparently, that's the great order.
And then 2 total damage dealt here, right?
2, yes, 2 damage makes it through that.
Perfect.
Okay, and then we're going to play Serene. We're going to discard the Quantum Mouse. And then I'm going to play Arise and pick
Nice.
Dis. So Vapor Imp, then Omok, Chauncey, I think that's it. Yes. So I also gain a chain. So these are going to go back to my hand. And we will then Omok doing a damage pit to the Vapor. and then my own vapor, and then Chauncey will capture one onto
Still good hit for you.
Mr. Monkey. That is the turn. Check. Drawing to 5, losing a chain.
I think I gotta go Mars here.
Whoa. Haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah. Fight into the Vapor Imp and
Yeah.
splash 2.
Alright, dead and 2.
Eldest Batchminder.
I've never seen that card before. Oh, darn.
One of my favorite cards in this set.
Right?
Vapor Imp, pipped into Mars.
Nice.
Blip it, discarding Thought Catcher.
Like Talon's invidious, exalts himself from.
Watney's to kill the Code Monkey.
So far, so good. This is exactly what the deck wants to be doing. We have multiple imps out, Batchminder to buff the Mars. Now we just have to pray she doesn't have a board clear.
Get to Forge.
Woo! Butt keys! So I have one option and one option only.
I hope it's not a board clear.
It is a board clear.
No!
I'm gonna Reap with Serene.
Of course it's in Dis too.
Yeah, sorry, yes, Dis. Destroy another friendly creature if I do gain 3, so I will do its thing.
How convenient.
And then, so gaining 3. And then we're gonna Delta P.
Ah!
It is, in this case, does it leave you with 1? Destroy an enemy creature. If you, nope, it kills all of them.
Nice.
More
Very
than me
nice.
repeat it, yep. And then I get the Ember from the pit.
Alright.
And then, last but not least, I'ma clipped ya.
Ooh.
So, random card from, is this your archives?
Yep, that's from the upgrade.
Let's do your hand.
Okay.
Drop a Talon of invidious.
I'm a fan of purging. And I'm going to change that Amber for this.
So this one?
Yes.
I'll take that.
Alright. And that is the Dis turn. Check. 3, 4, 5, 6.
What are the chances you have a second board clear? Can't.
I've already used a lot of creature control.
Yeah. Alright. Dis, take my archives. Starting with that. Back into Dis.
Back in a Dis, that's funny.
Yeah. Double Doom, which, if I understand that correctly, it's still discards, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Discard Harmonic Pack. Let's see what we get here. Probably could have been better. Now I will arrive.
Nice.
What do I want? Yeah. Gotta be Dis. Vapor Imp, Dust Imp. And Kernel Slime.
Nice.
One chain. Slime, Imp, or no, well I guess it is an Imp. Other Imp. Mosquito capture here.
Yep.
Another Imp, and then I'll pass to you.
Unfortunately, I am so ridiculously lucky that you did that way.
Oh no, you have something that hits flanks, don't you? Draw to 5.
Picking up my archives. We're gonna go logos. That and Edge of the World. And then Connectome is all I got. Each
Oh, I
flank.
knew it. Oh, I should have played that so differently.
And then I am debating whether.
It would be yours too, right? Unless you want to change the order. I'll leave it up to
No,
you.
it's fine. Debating whether I discard a card to draw more stuff. What do I want to see? Yeah, I'm gonna discard the Eureka. And that is the turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright. Grab my archives. Just in case you got another one of those.
Right?
Doing it this way. Reap 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pass to you. Check for 8. And I get to draw 1.
Alright. Well, I'll do what I can.
Oh, you forge.
Oh, I forge! Ooh, red. But okay. Sky Babies. We got me a reason I forged the red key. This thing, so they're both it. And then I will redline you.
Oh.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 4
Yep.
plus that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the pip.
Yep. That's not good for me.
Well, I don't know. Your vapor imps are gonna wreck me. Just saying.
Yeah.
And then I will say fort after that. So my yellow key is forged. So we'll put the 2 amber. If your yellow key is friendly, so 2 amber here. Your yellow key is not, so nothing happens there. That's all I got.
So you're checking?
I am checking for third key. 2, 3, 4, 5, and flipping my deck.
That is rough. Oh, you're exactly at 60. Okay, thank God. Guess I'll live one more turn, at least.
This was not good. She's already checking for her 3rd key, and I don't have a single one yet. This game's probably already over, but you always gotta play it out.
Okay, Brain Dart on the Red Baron.
Mad and blue.
This card would be all hands on deck.
Capulet. Scrap to give it +2.
Nice.
Please remember to report once you are done with your match.
I'm gonna call.
Try hard.
Nice.
And since I only have 2 cards, does
You
that mean...
discard nada.
Nice. Perfect.
I discard 2. Oh man, what you gonna hit? Oh, dude.
Definitely take that. And then finally, Reap with the Vapor Imp.
All right. Yup. That one.
No creatures.
So no creatures.
All right. Pass to you.
All right. So
No, he's gonna atomic stabilizer.
I'm just gonna fight both your vapor imps,
Okay.
and then get rid of the enraged and take no damage. But I do draw up.
Interesting.
To report.
I'll go Geistoid.
Ooh.
Okay. So if you doing it counted for the both of us? So
No, we both have to report.
Where do I?
Tribute collector, capture onto itself, I guess. Junk, capture onto dust imp.
There you go. Okay. Otherwise,
I should have known what these cards are, but I'd have to be a really good KeyForge
It's not
player.
like this is our first game
Yeah.
with these decks or something.
no, because it's 2LO. So
In here
less than 10
somewhere.
minutes you're out.
Okay.
So that makes that neat here. Trap.
Archiving.
So you
It's
come to
gonna
the lobby.
save me here.
Oh yeah.
Intentional discharge.
Nice.
Gone to all the KFCs. So
How did Rochester go for you?
why did it be here?
I guess brain dart.
OP is
Nice.
where it's at.
And I guess the damage pip doesn't matter.
A weekend KeyForge is
Or wait, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't.
What damage pip?
It's from in here somewhere.
Oh yeah, correct. Armor on both.
Yeah. Colonel will fight the Chandler.
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah.
And then ethereal adapter on the tribute collector.
You might be wondering why I put the adapter on the Tribute Collector instead of the Cobalt Capulet. Normally, Capulet would be a better target, but we're relying too heavily on it to keep us alive. We want to take the heat off of Capulet and draw attention to our other creatures.
Suspend Demander with a discard pip, discarding the Anook. And then we will Infinity Strop.
Oh,
So I will kill your Dust Imp, doing 4 to all disc creatures, killing both of them, killing all the discs on the board. So
we both gain 2.
yes. Check at 6.
Oh. Finish drawing.
2,
These guys.
3, 4, 5, 6.
You want to order these?
Mosquito is great on top.
All right. I forge for 6.
Yep.
My first key.
Woo!
Let's see. I know you got the yellow one. That wants me to have red, I think. But I have not seen indigo, so let's go for blue. All right. Oh, I have archives too. Any friendly creature. Okay. I will go Mars, grab my archives. Let's brain dart the Red Baron.
Red Baron, angry man.
Sinwix the Bold. Scrap to give it +2. Batchminder. Oh. Intentional discharge. Turn this to my hand. Ready this.
Nice.
Fight into the Suspendamander.
All right. You take 2. I die.
5-minute warning.
Okay. Capture 2 there. Batchminder, Glider, Reap, capturing 2.
Nice.
Pass. Check at 6.
We are going to go. You're at 6.
Yes.
We're gonna go Sky Bubbles.
Just remember, you're gonna play in the pods, and they won't play
And the red bear will fight it and die.
Deal 2.
Yes, I'm putting that there for momentarily. Because we are then going to redline.
Oh, not again. All right.
So,
what is
one
that?
from the pip.
4 again?
Yes.
You have 2, 4, 6, 8. So you have 10. You'll end up with 5.
So 4.
Not bad.
And then, so silver linings. Should have done it first. Didn't do it. That's fine. But I will get one from the pip
3 minutes left.
and one from the flank creatures. And that is all she wrote. 4. So 4 drawn to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 amber.
Okay. I will go Mars. Number 612, discard pit. Reap, capture 2.
Alright, I am at 6.
Fight
Alright.
for 5. And your
Jet.
fees cost plus a bunch.
Okay.
2 minutes left in the round. 2 minutes left in the round.
Alright.
Double reap, then I'll pass.
Alright, we're gonna go disc.
Check it a bunch.
30
Alright.
seconds left in your round.
Ecstasy Siphon. I'm gonna do 3 damage there, and you have 3 left, so I will also kill him. The Ven Omok and the Vapor Imp, 1 damage to here. Pass.
Okay.
4, 5, 6.
I will go Mars. I will swing with Sinwix into the Vapor Imp. Oh yeah, totally forgot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Time. So it's your turn. Whose turn?
Okay, so Sinwix fight into Vapor Imp.
Okay.
Capture 2 onto Ven.
Okay.
You 4 amber left?
Yep.
Oh shoot.
You win before that.
Reap here. Capture 2.
Okay.
Reap here.
Got it over here. Okay, marker. Report your win.
Watney's just for the pip.
Nice.
Ecstasy Siphon. Capture on Sinwix. Kill that. It was 2, right?
Yep.
And then discard Donor Vox, putting 2 + 1 counters onto the Cobalt Capulet. Pass to you.
Did you steal from me?
Did not steal, I don't think.
Then I think game is yours. Yeah? I have... I'll take that. Go Logos. Skippy. Nemo to Archive. I was gonna Delta you if you didn't
Oh,
make
yeah.
6. Quantum. Deanimator will animate that. And then 2 information exchanges. Stealing 2.
6.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, good game.
Good game, sir.
I really thought you had me. Yep.
That was crazy ending.
Somehow we managed to come back after that crazy game, securing us our first victory. Game 2 was against X-Ray, and after that great showing from Eldest Bashminder, I couldn't turn it down to the opening hand.
Start out with a Blip It, discarding Helichopper. Past you, drawing 1.
Scallywag, spin, 1 damage to his own armor. I mean, you can offer 2 different.
I'll go Diss.
One extra one. You know what's going on.
This.
End my turn. Got 3 cards in hand. I'll draw 3 up to 6.
Alright. Let's try no amber. Going Mars. Reap with Flip It. Glider comes in ready. Ecstasy Siphon to kill Siren. Batchminder. Then I'll fight into the Mosquito. Take 3. End of my turn. Friendly Mars creatures get +2 power. And then I will draw 3 up to 6.
Oh, draw this. Holy shit.
Pass into you.
This card.
I'll go logos.
Oh, gain 2 from it.
Mind over matter.
Archives them all.
Yes. We are not archiving this one.
Okay.
Play skipping. Archiving the top card.
2 random.
2. That's in the deck.
So we're archiving these 2.
In my turn, 4 cards in hand. Over the last couple of 2 up to 6. Pass to you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go Mars and grab my archives.
I just missed out. I'm in a lot better position.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Really?
Flip it. Discarding Stratowise.
Not really that much of a better position. You're probably going to forge next turn. Can't find any in my 8.
Glider. Sinwix. Batchminder. Pass to you. Gaining power counters and drawing 2.
I'll go logos.
Okay.
Yeah. My backup plan. So archiving 3.
Nice.
Indigo down. I'm gonna reap 2 for 1. Archiving the top card.
I'm gonna go this.
Top cards in hand. I'll go 1. Up to 6. Pass you.
Alright. I'm gonna go into Geistoid, I guess. Colonel Slime. Manifestation just for the pit. And then put Banshee Suit on Batchminder. End of my turn. Power counters. Drawing 3.
That one's close. That one's close.
Geistoid. Colonel Slime. Colonel Slime. Terabyte. Alright. Here? None of these are
I'm gonna go Equidon.
Alright, so we're gonna go.
I'm gonna start by reaping.
3 cards in hand.
This guy will capture 1, and I will
Pass to you.
Go Dis. And that.
activate this.
Changing house into Mars. Amber Pip. Damage Pip here.
I play a Skipper Bucko, discard.
Who are you selecting?
I don't even know.
That was in your hand.
Watney's just for the pip.
Like, if I want to kill the rating. Or, like, do damage to them.
I will action to steal 1 from the rating and
Move it to a flank, like, give the armor, damage it.
Sinwix will fight the Parabite, capturing 1 from your own side onto Colonel Slime. This one.
trying to remember good. I always try to remember good interactions with.
Watt or harmonic pack
For later.
here. So 2, then reveal a random card from your archives. Discard it.
Perfect.
And then I'll play.
Does not regain armor. Now.
Alright.
Yeah.
And 3 more damage.
I get to see your hand when I get to
Yeah.
So, full disclosure, I didn't realize you
When you forged, I was like,
2 reaps here.
good here.
Then I'll fight into Skippy. Your keys cost +4 next turn. End my turn, drawing 3 up to 6. And more power counters. Pass to you.
Okay.
Check at 9.
I'm gonna go logos. Okay. Then I'm gonna pull my arc out. Okay. Let's go. Like one. Bender, Hytula. Skipping. Archiving.
I'm gonna go Equidon. I'm gonna play Corner the Market.
I'm sorry. We're also gonna do. Legacy or Never.
No.
And then
I'm gonna play the arm forward here.
Gain an Amber. Let's capture one.
Try to steal one.
That's fine.
Drop the one.
Placeholder here, so it'll kill it.
Okay. So it would get archived as well as these 2.
Okay.
Draw.
This goes to discard.
We're going to play one color, removing that one.
So,
I'll draw 2.
it's still here,
Nice.
Let's capture one here.
yeah, 6 cards.
And discard. Draw 4.
Don't get my arise, goddamn.
5 cards in hand. 1 up to 6. And then pass 2.
I forge for 6.
Oh, yeah.
Blue key.
I'll draw 1 more card.
Oh, yep.
So I'm at 6 now. So
Then I will go Mars and grab my archives. 4 amber there. Alright, let's do.
Alright. I'm gonna go disc.
Watney's calculation to kill the daughter.
Play Searing.
Bring back the disc.
I'm gonna play Gift of Amber. I'm going to get an
Batchminder.
Amber. I'm going to discard.
Brain Dart Skippy.
okay. So he
Enrages and then captures 1 from its own Sinwix will fight and kill it.
Unbelievably bad, right?
Then capture 2 from yourself on turn.
Joking right now?
Stealing 3.
And then let's do harmonic pack on him.
Chain.
How did I not hit?
2 more.
Let's see, hit this. 1 amber, steal 2.
Vapor Imp.
And then just have 1 in archives.
You sign this game?
Okay, gets discarded. Now I will reap with the Blipit. Next Mars creature enters play ready.
Discard a and then I'll pass you.
Play Vapor Imp.
Unrise.
Draw 4 cards.
Reap with the Vapor Imp.
This as well.
Alright, no actions next turn.
Dust him.
Then I will reap again and pass to the check for a bunch.
Good game.
Good game. Yeah, those runaway
Not a whole lot to say about this game. X-Ray played well. I think I just drew better. With 2 wins under our belt, we head into Game 3 against drazkor.
At the table, we have an X&O matchup of Zenzi Zenek taking on drazkor. As a reminder, we are doing Amber Skies for this set. So we have Dis, Geistoid Mars coming from Zenzi Zenek, and drazkor has Brobnar, Geistoid Skyborn. Unfathomable, when you see these pods, what are you kind of thinking that they're looking to have inside their matchups?
Yeah, so Dis definitely wants to have a whole bunch of good quality creatures and arises to just flood the board and take control. Like Vapor Imps and Suspend Demanders can be really strong in Dis. Geistoid actually has a lot of different kinds of tools in Amber Skies, but you know, creatures is always good. Shard of Resurgence, I love to see some shards. So from drazkor right there, we see a Thought Catcher and a Shard of Resurgence. Mars, we normally want to see a lot more creatures again. Sealed, you want to see creatures. Intentional Discharges are great. And then down drazkor, Brobnar, you want to flood the board, and then Skyborn, you want to see a whole bunch of steel cards like Redline Rotation and Against All Flags. So we're seeing a whole bunch of good disc creatures, Mosquito and Dust Imp to get some Amber there, and then a Double Doom to put that Thought Catcher back into drazkor's hand and then discard a random card from it. So we discarded an Indigo Halyard. That's not a great hit, but you know, still gets a card out of his hand.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the thing.
It's hard to see, but there's a red line rotation in my opponent's hand. That, plus the Shard of Resurgence on the board, basically means that anytime we go above 6 Amber this game, half of our Amber is getting stolen. This is going to be a tricky matchup.
That aspect. So looks like it's drazkor's turn right now. He's currently trying to figure out what he wants to go. It looks like he's going into Geistoid right here.
Yep, Shard of Resurgence to archive that Indigo Halyard. I did see a red line rotation in his hand, so maybe setting up for a good Skyborn play later on.
Wonder if he's going to go into Mars because of the more cards in hand, or if he's going to go into Disc because of the board state.
Yep. So he plays a Dat, so it gives you an Amber Pip and a Damage Pip, and then he gets to pick another house to go into, so he might pick to go into Mars still, we don't know.
And you would expect, especially at this point in the tournament, both of them sitting in the X&O pool, they probably have some pretty good card combos in their pods. So we might be seeing some nice plays
okay, he did
going
stay
through
in
there.
Dis, so now he's playing the Vapor Imp, fighting the Dust Imp, getting rid of drazkor's board, and also getting a whole bunch of Amber at the same time. Now he does have to watch out for that red line, although Zinzi has no idea that drazkor currently has a red line, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and important to note, in case you can't see it, that Colonel Slime has a Dis house enhancement, so that is why he was able to reap with it in this turn. And now, of course, passing it over to drazkor, going into a Brobnar turn. Here's the flooding of the board you talked about.
Fortunately, he won't have more creatures, so that Incensed won't really do anything. No fight effects going off here. Still gives you an Amber Pip, though, so drazkor now has 1, and Zinzi has 5 Amber Pips. They both have solid board presence right now, but that Vapor Imp can definitely be dangerous if it discards an action or creature that really slows down drazkor's game plan.
Yeah, and kind of just moved it up to the top of his hand, so I think we are going to see that now. He has a Brain Dart in there. Of course, that's the first thing coming down, and put it on DB there.
I wonder if drazkor has the other 2 shards in his deck, the Skyborn and the Brobnar shards. They're definitely weaker than the Shard of Resurgence, but once you get all of them out, you can use that Shard of Resurgence to archive 3 cards from your discard pile and keep playing a whole bunch of good Geistoid stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Zinzi is getting a big Mars board presence there, getting all the creatures with +1 power counters because of the Vatminder there. And he can now next turn reap with that to capture Amber if drazkor starts to threaten check. And he did get up to
He's at 6 Amber right
it looks
now.
like, so that red line won't be able to affect it.
Yeah, it looked like he was checking over his hand. He had now checked his discard pile, finally picks up his archive.
So it looks like he's going into Skyborn since he archived that Indigo Halyard earlier. Start off with a Bombering to kill the Vapor Imp so that that's not threatening and making it so he can't play his cards. Okay, we see a Skyborn pipped DB Gobber, so that can make him lose Amber later on.
Yep, with an Amber Pip on it too. So, and there's the Halyard that you talked about earlier coming down.
I'm really interested to see which deck can get the bigger board presence first, and if a board wipe shows up, because that can really change the tide of the game. But Amber Skies is very low on board wipes, though, so you never know. Return to Rubble is one that could be here. I don't know all of these players' decks. It's sealed.
Yep, that's the one thing that's important for both players, right, in here is that, as you had made mention earlier, Zenzi doesn't know that drazkor has red line rotation. So, like, he's sitting here setting up this board, but he doesn't know if that's coming because the sealed, the deck lists are hidden during sealed. So we're learning these decks as they start playing. Yeah.
Don't know what house will go here. Shifting over the battle line, getting ready to play some more creatures.
Looks like he's going into another Mars. There you go.
Got a discard pip on that, so discard a card from hand. Gets rid of that Hilly Chopper. It's kind of a slow card to action capture Amber.
Oh, that's a second Vapor Imp. This one with the Mars house enhancement.
Yeah. If he has an intentional discharge, that could be super cool right here to slow down drazkor's playing here. Vapor Imps are super strong, especially in sealed. Just making it so your opponent can't play their stuff is always great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And for our newer viewers who might not know about it, can you talk a little bit about Vapor Imp's ability?
So Vapor Imp has a Reap, discard a random card from your hand, so the player that reaps with it will discard a card from their own hand, and then during your opponent's next turn, they cannot play creatures of the discarded card's type. So for example, if they discard an action card, your opponent can't play action cards, and so forth with creature, upgrade, and artifact.
Okay.
So he's going to Reap there with that Cobalt Capulet, or not.
It looks like he fought with it to
Capulet.
get the Fancy Donovan off the board.
Okay. Don't know why he's so mad at that Fancy Donovan. I don't see what that's doing over there. I guess just making...
The reason I killed the Fancy Donovan here is because it stops Draz from being able to kill my Vapor Imp and Brobnar. Also, I just didn't really need the capture at that time.
Based off of what we've seen played at this point, we've seen Skyborn, we've seen Brobnar, we've seen a few Geistoid, but maybe he has a little bit more Geistoid, but it looks like he's going to go into a Brobnar turn here.
Could be Skyborn. That is Skyborn.
Oh yeah, that is a Skyborn.
Okay, it is Brobnar.
Alright, so raise your glass.
Ready and Reap with that Gobber to make Zenzi lose all of his Amber. And we got...
Looks like he's trying to figure out what he wants to do here.
He's going to fight into the Dat. Just get rid of another discard. That was probably the only creature that he could kill while surviving. So that's a good choice there. Don't want to fight and die and let your opponent have that Amber back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really threatening board from Zenzi there with all those +1 power counters. And drazkor is still holding on to that red line rotation, waiting for Zenzi to get up to 7. Might discard it or play it later. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, and that's always the hard judge, right? Is do you get rid of it now, knowing that you can't really use it yet, but not knowing if you're good back? Because at the same time, with this board state, there is that chance he can burst up to 7. So it's a gamble to hold on to it, but it's also a gamble to get rid of it.
I do see that Shard of Resurgence there, so that would make it kind of easier to be able to get away with playing that red line rotation for no value now, because you can archive it and save it for later.
Yeah, so right now, pass the turn back over to Zenzi. Looks like he's going to go into another Dis turn.
Gonna double Doom that 6 power fight heal creature, and it'll discard a random card. See if it gets that red line. That could be interesting. It's a Terabyte. That's also a very solid Amber control card, though.
Yeah, we've actually seen on the most recent matchup between Wookiee and Sheep, if I remember correctly, Parabyte coming into play during that turn, that matchup, or it might have been the round 1 matchup. But Parabyte was used pretty efficiently to try to slow your opponent down.
Okay, Guilty Heart, so that's gonna kill some creatures here. Looks like DB Gobber's the only one with any Amber on it, so that'll die. Everything else is still there. I didn't see... Okay, he's going to discard the Vlad with that discard pip.
Yeah, and we, Zenzi, because of those card plays, just got to Haunted status. Maybe that comes into a play with his Geistoid pod there. Also, of course, drazkor running Geistoid, there's a chance that that could help out on his side as well, depending on what he wants to do with some of his cards.
Yeah. So Zenzi did Reap with that Vapor Imp and discard a Blip Blip, so now drazkor will not be able to play any creatures during his next turn. Looks like he's going to fight that Raiding Party and also fight that DB Gobber just to make sure drazkor doesn't have any creatures to deal with Zenzi's board.
And then there's
all of them getting more +1 power counters. It looks like he forgot the Vapor Imp over there. Yeah, he forgot to put +1 power counters on the Vapor Imp. It does look like he has Return to Rebel, so yeah, he's going to play that and wipe out the big threatening Mars board, of course.
Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Correcting the power counters. So yeah, we had just gotten the attention of the judge, so I tried to tell them, never mind, don't worry about it now.
All of them are dead. Power counters don't matter if the creatures are all dead. Maybe you use it for that Return to Rebel, just in case Zenzi gets a big board again.
And that's where I was just about to lead to, knowing that the Return to Rebel is now your topmost card, is maybe you do keep that in there for that reason. Goes into in here somewhere, and because of the Return to Rebel, is not haunted, so he's going to move a lot of cards into that discard pile.
If he had played the In Here Somewhere first, he would have no longer been haunted, so he wouldn't have been able to do the Return to Rebel to get rid of all the stuff. So that was a good order of operations that drazkor chose there. Drazkor now has 6 Amber, and he's ending his turn. So we'll see if Zenzi can stop him from forging his first key. That Junk Restoration has a Capture Pip, but there's no creatures in play, so he can't capture anything with that. It's going to discard an Arise, a Vapor Imp, and then that Geistoid creature, Tribute Collector. Tribute Collector does capture 1, so it looks like that can take drazkor off check, which he plays that and captures 1. And then a Manifestation to use a Pip from any creature in a Haunted player's discard pile. This is a really interesting card. A lot of the time it doesn't actually get value, but if someone has like a Cursed Relic, he's just going to pick Guilty Hearts just for an Amber Pip.
It's hard to see on stream, but that Guilty Hearts has a discard pip as well.
All right, and then always with these beads, I'm trying to think. It looks like he has 6. Yeah. All right, so it looks like it finally got corrected. They're trying to figure out the...
where in the discard pile they fit in,
yeah.
I was like, why didn't I use him? Because I didn't think
So there we go.
The damage pip will just ping one of the armors on the Tribute Collector, and then Zenzi can archive 2 of the most valuable cards from his discard pile. In Here Somewhere is such a strong card, especially in multiples, when you can just keep using them on themselves and getting more value in Amber Pips from them.
For sure. And now with that, though, looks like, of course, Zenzi is at 7 Amber, so does this where the red line rotation comes out? Who knows?
Looks like he's going to archive the Mars creature that gives all the +1 power counters, and then the Mars pipped Vapor Imp.
Yeah.
Maybe he does have that intentional discharge to be able to slow down drazkor immediately next turn. But yeah, we're definitely looking for that red line to see if drazkor can pull that off, since Zenzi has 7 now. Yep, there we see it. He might be in disc though. I didn't see that red line rotation has a disc pip on it, so that could be interesting.
That's a really nice house enhancement there. And that's another one with disc on it, so hard to say.
Okay, he is in Skyborn here. Okay. That Third of Cliff is a pretty pathetic creature. All these Skyborn creatures don't seem to do much, but as long as you have creatures on the board, you can reap with them and fight with them. Having board is great, even if your creatures aren't very useful. Third of Cliff also has a Brobnar Pip, which, you know, drazkor has a lot of cards with pips here, so he can go into any house pretty much. I would say Geistoid looks promising, just because always having that Shard of Resurgence, if you can archive that red line, use it on the next key, that's always solid.
Yeah. All right, and Draz is at 6 Amber right now, so he's finally threatening his first key. We're at 26.5 minutes left in this round. So still plenty of time to continue to crawl back into this, but of course Zenzi just wanting to try to keep his foot on the gas pedal, keep things moving forward.
Yep, so he's played a whole bunch of Mars creatures, and then he's going to play that little sea action card with the Mars Pip that'll just deal damage to an opponent's creature equal to the cards in their hand. So it looks like drazkor has 6 cards in their hand, so it can deal a total of 6 damage. So it'll do 2 to the Third of Cliff and then 4 to the other creature. And yeah, he's got that threatening Mars board again. Both that Sinwix the Bold and Vapor Imp are super strong cards. Oh, and a try-hard to discard drazkor's hand. So we'll definitely slow down what drazkor wanted to do here. Looks like Zinzi has a lot of disruption in that dis house there.
Definitely. And he archived the, looked like it is the junk restoration. Maybe it was in here somewhere. He quickly flashed it and then put it back down. But it's not the return to rubble like we had talked a little bit about, is potentially wanting to archive that.
Looks like he got the against all flags, which is going to hurt drazkor for sure. Maybe drazkor grabs that return to rubble back and tries to get rid of that board, because that's definitely scary. And if he leaves that for a turn or two, I think it's pretty much over for drazkor.
That is, like you said, a play that he could go to try to grab those, put them in the archive, and then come back to utilize it in a future turn. All right, picked up the archive, so I would assume he's going
Probably
Geistoid.
going Geistoid here. Yep, we see that in here somewhere to probably archive that return to rubble and then the red line probably. Yep. There we see it, and then he still does have that Shard of Resurgence to get something else that he wants to, probably the in here somewhere itself.
Yep. Draz is definitely understanding where the situation is right now with that board, that impending board. And of course, as you said, all right, goes with the Parabite.
Okay. I think that could be a good choice. Get some captured amber, slow down his opponent from forging so that he can maybe capitalize more off of the red line rotation there. It's like Zenzi's thinking about going Mars here. Looks like he's got some Mars cards in his hand.
All right, so he reaped with the Vapor Imp.
So he wants to discard first, which is an interesting choice. Maybe he doesn't want to play any cards this turn, so he just wants to get rid of one. It's going to be a creature, so it won't hit the red line. But maybe he has a way to ready the Vapor Imp and use it again to get an action card. He does. Okay, that's great. Yep. And it's going to be the try-hard, so he'll replay the try-hard to discard some cards from drazkor. Yeah. Mars can be super mean here, especially with some disc creatures that are Mars enhanced. So he is now at 6 amber, so still not in red line territory, but he's going to be discarding another. Ooh, that is not what you want to see there with the Vapor Imp.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Zenzi, but a huge hit for drazkor, hitting creature twice, not allowing, he potentially could have locked himself out of 2 different card types, and able to now have both return to rubble and red line rotation at his disposal in this next turn.
He is going to fight that ship and destroy drazkor's creature there, and also increase his key cost. I don't think that's needed here, but in case drazkor tries to do a key cheat, it will be more expensive.
Yeah. All right, so it looks at 6 amber there, so of course red line not in play yet.
It's like he purposely didn't use any more of the cards because he didn't want to be in territory for that red line. Because Zenzi, of course, knows that the red line is in drazkor's archives right now. It's interesting we haven't seen any other shards from drazkor yet. It looks like he's been playing a lot of Geistoid, but he's been doing fine with it. He's gotten a key and he has 4 amber now.
All right, uses the shard to get against all flags. So this is, again, kind of where you were saying, is he's trying to figure out the order, what's going to be best for him. And now he's going straight into the return to rubble.
Looks like there were exactly 10 cards. Oh no, okay, there were more. So a few more. So he shuffles those 10 cards back and destroys the board of Mars.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of the same discards coming from Zenzi. He's been finding a way to, recur them back in and get to play. But it's hard to judge, have we seen the full breadth of his deck yet?
Okay, he's going to end it there. Check at 6, and Zenzi will forge his second key.
All right, so a neutral board state at this point. The yellow key being the second forged key for Zenzi there.
It's actually an interesting choice from Zenzi. I typically forge the yellow key last just because I'm aware of Silver Linings. That's a card that can come in multiples and steal a whole bunch of your amber, so I'm wary to forge the yellow key.
I forged the yellow key here because we've already seen Indigo and Raiding Party, so avoiding blue seemed like the right play.
It's 2 upgrades on the Thought Catcher there.
Looks like one of them is destroyed, it gets archived, and so do the top 2 cards of the discard pile, and then the other one is similar to the Calyptigan Ideal, which just lets you spend amber on that creature as if it was in your pool.
Alright, and so enough was done with the Thought Catcher to get Draz off of that second key, so not able to forge just yet. Goes into that Brobnar turn, just kind of creating a board state right now.
Second time he's played the Incense to no effect. He hasn't had any ready creatures to utilize that effect. Okay, we do see Geistoid start off with a Junk Restoration with also a Capture Pip.
Yeah.
So capturing a lot of his amber here. If Zenzi gets the board again and gets a whole bunch of captured amber, that could also be threatening since, you know, Drazkor's used that board wipe quite a few times already.
Yeah.
Don't know if he can get it back and use it again. Because whenever you use that board wipe, you do have to have 10 or more cards in your discard pile in order for it to work. And Drazkor does still have that red line rotation. I believe it's in his hand right now since he picked up his archives earlier. Yep, so fights with the Tribute Collector and captures another amber. And yes, whenever he fights with a friendly creature, the Vlad will capture an amber, and then it gets +1 power for each amber on it. So that Vlad can definitely get big fast if he fights a whole bunch.
Yeah. So now dropping Drazkor down to 3 amber. Zenzi at 3 amber for his third key.
So Zenzi is definitely ahead right now, so if I was Drazkor, I would try to find amber control as fast as possible to slow down Zenzi, get that second key, and then try to push for the third one.
Yep.
Okay, we do see Against All Flags, so that's a great card there. Steals 2 amber, gets him in check for second key, and also takes away Zenzi's. So, any more Skyborn cards from Drazkor? He's thinking. Okay, we do see a Bomberang, which will deal 3 damage to the Thought Catcher and then 1 damage to his own creature, but the armor will prevent it. Maybe he... Okay, he can't kill that Thought Catcher there, but he is in check for the second key.
Yeah.
Looks like Zenzi doesn't have any amber control in his hand, so if he wants to take him off, he would have to go Geistoid. So it looks like he's gonna let Drazkor forge here, but he does want to get rid of one of the cards on his board. Maybe discard the red line?
Maybe. Here we go.
Okay, Raiding Party. That's pretty solid creature. Fight Steal 2 later on in the game. Okay, we see that Vapor Imp again.
And this is the unpipped one, so not as powerful as the Mars pipped one, but still a threat on the board.
He's not getting what he wants to see, but, you know, still getting rid of the board. Zenzi is at 1 amber still, so he looks like he wanted to get cards out of his hand and get rid of Drazkor's board before progressing his game state, since, you know, he doesn't have that many creatures on the board right now. He wants to get new cards in his hand.
Alright, so was sitting at 7 amber, so got the second key, and now things are neutral. We're at 2 keys apiece, 1 amber on each side. Now it comes down to, can you burst up to try to threaten that third key?
Drazkor has 2 pretty solid artifacts on the field, so it could go either way here. Okay, we see a Berserker Slam. That's a really solid action card. It will destroy the Vapor Imp and make Zenzi lose an amber. And then a Raise Your Glass just for the Amber Pip. And that looks like it's it from Drazkor. Yep. So that tryhard looks like it got rid of some good cards from Drazkor and slowed down his turn. It's exactly what Dis wants to do.
Yep.
Slow down your opponent, disrupt them in any way possible.
All right, so now we see a split of 3 Mars, 3 Dis in hand. We have obviously 3 Geistoids on the field, plus a Dis and a Mars tryhard. And so he's going to go into Dis in this turn with a Capture Pip.
Another Vapor Imp. How many Vapor Imps does this guy have?
I was about to say the same thing.
Looks like he has 2 regular Vapor Imps and then 1 Vapor Imp that is Mars enhanced, and he has an Arise too. So now he'll bring back the Vapor Imp and possibly the other one that was Mars pipped, or that one might have been. Yep.
Nope,
Okay.
there you go.
Now we are seeing 3 Vapor Imps on the board. It looks like.
Wow.
So if Drazkor doesn't deal with that, it looks like he might get shut out the rest of the game. If Zenzi reaps with all of them, Drazkor can't play any cards.
Yeah, and we know at the moment the Return to Rubble is not in the discard, or in his archives, so he does not have a chance to just pick up, his archives this turn and play the Return to Rubble. So he's definitely got to figure out a creative way to get rid of those Vapor Imps, because definitely knows Zenzi's going next turn into Dis. This is one of the things that's always fun about when we get later in these tournament stages is, of course, the caliber of the players always seems to, of course, be at its all-time high. But, of course, these players have to do a lot of calculations at this point. Because, again, we said every turn matters, and drazkor is not unfamiliar with being at this kind of a table.
Okay, he looks like he's going to play Clap of Thunder, which will destroy the opponent's most powerful creature?
No, just
Enrages the most powerful and destroys the least powerful. Okay, so it'll get rid of one of the Vapor Imps.
And he chose to go with the Mars Enhanced one, which is obviously an important choice in that regard.
And then he will ready and use that Third of Cliff maybe to action to destroy something. And then he also does have that Razor's Gambit, which he might fight with that Third of Cliff after using its action ability. Okay, he's just going to directly fight the Third of Cliff into killing the second Vapor Imp. So he did get rid of two of the Vapor Imps. Zinzi still has 4 disc creatures, so...
He's currently sitting at 1 Amber, so if he reaps out completely, he doesn't get everything. That's a Dis-enhanced Colonel Slime again.
Then he's discarding.
Yeah, so he did that to capture. He's going to reap
He's
out.
going to go Dis here. He's going to get up to 4 Amber. It'll be 5 after that Vapor Imp reaping. It looks like he might not have any more disc creatures, but still... Discarding an action card here will hurt drazkor for sure. There we do see an in here somewhere, which will hurt Zinzi a little bit, but it'll also slow down drazkor. So
yeah.
In my first game that I lost, I actually lost because a Vapor Imp stopped me from being able to do anything. So they got to check on their 3rd key and hit an action card with a Vapor Imp, and I would have been able to stop them, but I couldn't play any action cards. So if possible, I would definitely try to target that Vapor Imp so that drazkor can still play his action cards next turn.
Alright, so goes into Geistoid.
Red line and one other Skyborn card in his hand right now. He's going to play that in here somewhere. Maybe archive some Skyborn Steel?
Well, he discarded the in here somewhere, then used the shard.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because remember, he hit it, and he doesn't have... It seems like he doesn't have it.
Oh, that Thought Catcher has Amber on it, and since it has that upgrade, he can spend it as if it was in his key. So
okay.
He can't use the red line because of the action card being played, and it wouldn't work anyways because Zinzi only has 5 Amber in his pool, but since Thought Catcher also had 3 Amber in it, it is enough to let him forge his 3rd key.
And there you go. That is the game.
Wow. Tough game against drazkor. Shout out to Ethereal Adapter, the perfect answer to redline rotation. Alright. That wraps up the qualifier rounds for Sealed. We went 3-0, which means we're already locked in for the top cut and we get to skip the play-in round. But this is only the beginning. From here on out, the opponents get tougher and the stakes get higher. Can we keep the streak alive? Subscribe to find out.